When I put this team together, Archaludon was the Pokemon I was the most excited to try. It fits my playstyle almost perfectly, being a defensive Pokemon that can easily operate in more offensive roles, allowing you to have some really flexible game plans throughout the battle. Switch into some of the game's most powerful attackers and immediately threaten them out with a powerful Draco Meteor. What more could you want? Today's BBR battle against Dell will hopefully be a great showing of this as we look to get back in the win column, and Archaludon has a great matchup both offensively and defensively. Our matchup into Dell's team is quite interesting this week. On one hand, he has a very powerful core of threats with Greninja, Archaludon, and Kyurem, but on the other hand, his team struggles to also deal with our offensive threats, tornadus-therian and Volcarona being just as problematic. After a Quiver Dance, there's little that Dell can do to contend with Volcarona, and the same can be said for nasty plot tornadus-therian, relying on the ever-present Hurricane misses to keep it in check. Archaludon is going to be our biggest problem in this matchup, with our team having no consistent counterplay to the powerful Terra Captain. While this is probably going to be the case for most teams, a Pokemon like Screamtail that we might normally be able to rely on for this role is needed elsewhere, with Kyurem being a massive threat as well offensively. Archaludon is our lead this week, taking advantage of the weakness Dell has to Draco Meteor, hopefully netting some big damage early on or a KO. While offensively it is great here, Archaludon is going to have a lot of responsibilities defensively because of the Assault Vest. Greninja will be walled the majority of the time, with stamina preventing most mix sets from 2KOing with low kick, and special attack usually being the main focus of these sets. With Dragon coverage being so good here, we also have Dragon Pulse, allowing us to lead with this attack to keep our special attack from being dropped by Draco Meteor, allowing us to stay in and keep attacking. Flash Cannon gives us coverage for the Mimikyu, his only dragon immunity, and Aura Sphere allows us to hit a wide variety of his team for super effective damage, removing the risk of having to use Draco Meteor in those situations. Our primary win condition this week is Quiver Dance Volcarona, back to the more expected set after Sunny Day did so well for us last week. We only need Fire and Bug coverage this week, with Dell's entire team hit either strong neutrally or super effective with this coverage. This allows us to run Morning Sun, while not likely to be super relevant in a setup situation, gives us the opportunity to use its HP in the mid game to push some good offensive progress. Heavy Duty Boots is the enemy as always, but you've come to expect that from my teams. Tornadus-therian is once again nasty plot, with Terra Electric to give us a consistent switch in for Dell's Zapdos. Heavy Duty Boots is still going to be our best item here despite the type change, as Dell has access to Toxic Spikes through Weezing. Our coverage outside of Terra Blast this week is of the unreliable variety, with Hurricane and Focus Blast equally as important to break through Dell's team. These are the sets I was worried about in the draft analysis, so let's hope we can hit our moves this week. Winning the Hazard game will always be important, so you're unlikely to see a team without Samurott Hisui on it this season. Dell has an odd range of speed tiers in this matchup, which allows us to go adamant and run max HP, still outspeeding his slower utility Pokemon to help us get multiple layers of spikes up with Ceaseless Edge. With the more bulky nature of our set, we're running Heavy Duty Boots to keep our HP safe from entry hazards, allowing us to switch in on some key hits. Our moveset is fairly standard, with Sacred Sword replacing a priority option to give us a super effective move for both the Greninja and the Kyurem. Our best counterplay to Kyurem is Screamtail, with great special bulk to keep even the most powerful of choice spec sets under control. We expect U-turn or Volt Switch into Kyurem to be a regular play sequence in this game, allowing Kyurem to come in often, so Wish and Heavy Duty Boots combine to help keep our HP as high as possible, allowing us to check it even into the late game. This means Screamtail will be our Stealth Rocker this week as well, an important tool to help punish the Kyurem if it's choiced. Our final moves are Encore, punishing a potential subset using 48 speed to outspeed all modest max speed sets, and Dazzling Gleam also allows us to put pressure on the Kyurem and Greninja outside of just using utility moves. Throughout this team builder, we haven't really talked about our counterplay to Archaludon, and for good reason. This team struggles a lot to deal with that threat. Determining a Terra type is particularly difficult, with Fairy, Water, and Steel all having good arguments to be brought into this team. To beat the widest range of sets, we land on Crocodile using the Roselli Berry to help beat the most likely set in Terra Fairy. Roselli Berry in counter is fairly concede counterplay as well, with most players usually not expecting resist berries to be used against open Terra options. Earthquake and Knockoff are staples as always, giving Crocodile something to do if we deal with the Terra Ursaluna early. Roar is our final move, allowing us to phase up a potential bulk up set that isn't Terra Fairy. And with that, we have our team for week 2 of the BBR. Shout out to Kaz as always for all the prep support. Let's get right into it. Time for week number 2 of the BBR. We're playing against Adele, a little bit of a different recording situation this week at my parents' house, dog sitting, so no webcam. Slightly worse audio. Dell has brought the Crabominable, or whatever the hell that guy's called. A little bit frustrating to see that Pokemon. Didn't really want to see that. No Zapdos is interesting, but otherwise, basically the team, kind of the threats are here that we expect. But the Ursaluna is Terra Electric, which is kind of interesting, and I assume that means he's going to try to use it as a little bit of an endgame kind of threat to help kind of combat the, what's it called? The Torn. I think he's looking for a Terra type that resists Hurricane. So that gives me a little bit more information on the set that he's trying to run. Now in comes, the Ursaluna is just in here right off the bat. And our play is always to go into Crocodile on this Pokemon. No messing about here. There's no Kyurem as well, which is like actually really, really massive. I had a Screamtail set that was designed to basically handle this Pokemon. But we were super worried about Kyurem coming. It's not here, so that's, I would have maybe liked to have this Screamtail, but you got to make objective plays in the builder. You can't just kind of base it off what you see after the fact. But we'll see what this set wants to be. Terra Electric's kind of interesting. The fact that he's leading it off is odd. It makes me feel like he wants it to be a Flame Orb Breaker, but then again, like, don't you just want, like, if you're electric, like the electric typing feels like your endgame for that scenario. Otherwise, we're going in here. It could be Clear Amulet. That's a possibility. That's one thing I considered, but it's just going to get the Intimidate off. Let's see that Terra Electric popped right away. And let's see if we can get a perspective on what this Pokemon is. I expect the Headlong Rush to come right out here. No wasting any time from Adele's side. It could be like Weakness Policy. That's like one thing that he could just be trying to take advantage of in this situation. Headlong Rush. Okay. That's going to do about 139. So let's do a little bit of a calc here. Looks to be potentially, it could be, it looks like it's adamant. It's not, it wasn't burned when it clicked that. And this is adamant, yeah, this is going to be adamant most likely. That's what it looks like to me here. So adamant on our bear. Now the fact that he's electric means that this Earthquake is going to do a lot of damage, especially at -1. Like, we're basically potentially putting this thing into kill range, so I might as well go for the Earthquake. I mean, he's got options he can go into, but, you know, an Earthquake would be nice there. So, we know that he's Adamant Flame Orb. Was not the Pokemon I expected you to go into there. I'm going to be honest with you. Wow. Sure, we'll take some Cobalion damage early on. That's super nice. Wow, really, really happy with that. Okay, let's see what type of Cobalion that you could be. I'm very defensive, mind you, with this set. This looks to be... How much did that do? Man, that did a lot. That did a lot more than I would have expected. I think here you probably go for Fighting Move. If I had to guess, I think I'd just go Torn. I think Torn's pretty safe here. I have a plethora of moves that I can attack with here on this turn, but this seems to be like no HP Cobalion is my biggest guess. I guess we could see a Volt Switch here, but I kind of expect you to get your Stealth Rocks up on this turn. Stone Edge, wow, okay. Yeah, I guess I'll take that one after last week. A Stone Edge Dodge is definitely nice on this turn against the Cobalion. I mean, I would have been able to obviously live this pretty comfortably. Yeah, I mean, I should have been fine. There's kind of no realm in which that super punishes me. I guess the fact that I could just go for, what's it called? I mean, it forces me to potentially respect a Choice Scarf. At this point, the question is do I need to Terra? Is Terra required? I actually don't think Terra is required right now. I think at this point, I'm gonna just go for the Hurricane. Where does he go? He could go into the. I actually think he's gonna go Bear, to be honest. I think he's gonna go Bear. I think Bear is a super safe play for him to go here. This is probably super risky, and I probably don't need to make a play like this too early. But I think, like, given his Terra, I'm pretty sure he's super. Yeah, he's gonna double out here, switch out. So given his Bear Terra, so not the Pokemon we were expecting. In comes the Weezing. Neutralizing Gas, which means we get to click Earthquake again. All right. We'll take that. He doesn't really know much about our set. But if he goes for the Willow here, then we're perfectly okay with that, I think. Because this Pokemon, look, it's going to lose some utility to check that Ursaluna in the endgame. But we know it's Flame Orb. So if we start getting some spikes up, that's going to be super big. And We want to punish him for clicking Toxic Spikes on this turn, is what I really want to do here. Really want to punish that turn on Toxic Spikes. Really surprised he won this, to be honest with you. I guess trying to neutralize the Regenerator, but I mean, I hadn't taken any damage, so... Let's see, big Earthquake out here, that shouldn't kill. Yeah, let's see what he goes for. Maybe a Toxic Spikes? He is, alright. So my team notoriously weak to Toxic Spikes, as I'm not someone who usually drafts a lot of Grounded Poison or Hazard Removers. So that's kind of just where my teams usually end up. So a pretty predictable Toxic Spike turn there. Makes sense that he's going to want to get that one set up here. And at this point, let's see, I want to do some calcs here. Like, is knockoff, if knockoff's free, I want to go for it. Given the damage, it looks like knockoff is actually pretty free here. So I think I do just want to go for the knockoff. If he goes into something like, I mean, he could go into Cobalion again, and that would be, yeah, I think he might just be sacking the Cobalion, to be honest. I need a hero. Okay, that's a completely different Pokemon. Oh, no, that's the same Pokemon. Yeah, I mean, really, really unfortunate sequence there. Just, I should have EQ'd. It's a responsible play. I knew this is what he went into last time. He is Life Orb, so that would have done actually quite a lot to our Pokemon. I mean, do I go back into the thing? I think I go, honestly, I think I just go into Screamtail at this point. Screamtail's utility is, I need it for Crabominable, actually. Let's deviate that plan. Use it for Crabominable. How much am I taking from Stone Edge from this? I calced it before, but I want to make sure I'm confident in the calc. I think I'm going to go Screamtail. I kind of wish I Earthquake there. That would have been nice. I kind of looked at it as like a free hit. Like, but I mean, Cobalion was always coming in there. So I guess like that's obviously going to be the obvious play. So Screamtail here gets a big attack off. So we know two things about this move. We know Close Combat, and we know Stone Edge. I don't think any Iron Head is going to deal enough damage that I super care about that just yet. And getting up Stealth Rocks is going to be nice now that the Ursaluna can't resist that. So I'm just going to get my rocks up here. Let's just get a Hazard up. Stone Edge, all right, not even a Steel move here. So we'll take that big rocks up. That Ursaluna is going to be under more pressure, and we want to get in our Samurott here as early as possible now and start to get into that cooking. Question here is, where does Iron Head Calc leave me at with the Screamtail? I mean, I always live, but I just don't see a reason to go for it. I guess like I might as well just take this Pokemon with me. I've got a lot of utility. I can still check the Crabominable. Yeah, crit's unfortunate. I don't like that, but I'll take the Cobalion with me, and I still have this Pokemon to offensively check the Crabominable, which is nice. Like, this still is obviously going to be quick. Deal some Dazzling Gleam, or I have a sack for that Pokemon now in the back that I can use. But we got our rocks up. Rocks are super important for Ursaluna, mainly. Mimikyu is still a little bit of a problem in the back. We haven't talked about that much this battle, but obviously still super important. But we've gotten into this game pretty nicely, honestly, all things considered. The only thing that really is punished by our Toxic Spikes is like the Crocodile at this point, which means we have a limited long-term counterplay to Ursaluna, but Ursaluna's Flame Orb, which is pretty huge for us. So that means that is going to long-term not really be able to do too much. And it looks like he's going to bring this in. And at this point, like, do I just sack this Pokemon? Do I sack this Pokemon? I don't really have a confident switch at this point. With that Toxic Spike up, a little bit tough for me to switch into this Pokemon. And with the burn and with the hazards, I think my best play is honestly just Dazzling Gleam. Let's just put a little bit more damage on this Pokemon. See, there you go. Nice little chip. Trailblaze is a little annoying, actually. Trailblaze is a little bit annoying. I don't think that changes anything on my Crocodile game plan, though. I'm still going to go into Crocodile. Facade means... it does outspeed with Facade. That is a little bit annoying. It is putting me into a bad spot. I'm really happy I got that chip, but I'm getting to the point now where I might have to start like losing some Pokemon. Yeah, really, this could be bad. This could get dicey. I mean, I'm going to go this first. I'm going to have to take this poison. I might have to get creative here. A little bit with how I want to play this. He could go for the Trailblaze. What's the Trailblaze calc on this? I think it can't be any worse than Facade, right? Yeah, nowhere close to being as bad as Facade. Facade has a lot of rolls that can kill, here, and +1 should definitely outspeed me, speed here either way. So I think I'm gonna take my shot here. I might as well. So let's see here. Do we live? Yes or no? Yes, big live, that's huge. That's game changing. That means so much to this game. Really play for that roll. We take that. Archaludon, a huge threat, just gone, out of the way. Dealt with as efficiently, honestly, as we possibly probably could have in this game. And now I die here, right? Yeah, it's toxic. I swear, I've gotten confused with toxic poison the last few times. Ugh, I played this game. Okay, wow. Wow, what a spot to be in, honestly. Like, we are just, like, it just feels like we're in such a good position, no matter which way you look at it. And now our Volcarona endgame is looking pretty demonic at this point. I'm trying to think, this stupid Crabominable is like, just like a thing that's just in the back of my mind that I feel like I have to be worried about. I think I honestly just want to go Archaludon. I feel like Archaludon is like my next best move here. Like, the worst case is he goes into the Crabominable. But like, if he goes into something like Greninja, Mimikyu is okay. We're okay with this one all day. He could be some random setup set, but I mean, I'm just going to go for the Flash Cannon. I kind of just want to break the thing on this Pokemon. I just want to break the disguise here early. I could go Volcarona after the fact, but like, if we can break the disguise here early, and we are faster, which is super important. So disguise broken on Mimikyu, and let's see what set this is. So we can't be SD. Red card, okay. Volcarona in. Well, what happens here? Trick Room, okay. I gotta look at my Mimikyu moveset. I'm not gonna lie. I've used this Pokemon before. I'd be lying if I told you I was confident what was in this Pokemon's moveset. Do you have anything to hit this? There's really nothing in this Pokemon's kit that hits this. The problem is that, like, if I kill this, Crabominable just comes in and starts, like, claiming Pokemon. It kind of just starts and comes in and claims Pokemon here. That is a little bit annoying. The question is if I kill this, does Fire Dance even kill? I don't even think Fire Dance kills. I'm gonna Fiery Dance here. He's just gonna curse, okay. So that's gonna get in the Crabominable, unfortunately. There's not much I can do about that. He's running out of turns here to win this game, and Archaludon does so much to actually win this game at like a certain point that I think I'm okay with this situation. That I have to just kind of survive a couple of turns here, and I get to learn about this thing's item if it has an item here. Yeah, okay, so it's probably. I have to assume this thing is choice banded, right? Like, there's no way that this thing is just not choice. I mean, I gotta have to stay in, right? Like, I think this Pokemon's gotta go. It's not really that useful in the end game. He's got Rock Slide, okay. We're okay with that. Rock Slide, a little bit unfortunate. I should have paid attention to the item. That's annoying. So if I Terra, I live every hit that this Pokemon wants to go for with my... Actually, I'm going to go Archaludon and then double into... I think I'm going to go Archaludon and double into... No, I think I'm going to go the... I'm going to go this. I'm going to go this and double into... Okay, so it's not Life Orb. It's not Life Orb. Man, if I should have just gone into this. I don't like the waffle line I took here. I mean, CC has to come out, right? CC has to come out, right? Like, you have to CC here. What's my status line? 2 more turns left. If you CC here, I can go back out and be fine. Yeah, because I think Archaludon can win. Archaludon can win this game here if this goes wrong. Archaludon wins if this goes wrong. I think you CC here. 1 more turn, I just go sack off the Samurott. Oh, Drain Punch? Perfect. Take that. All day of the week, and now we outspeed this thing with like a plethora of our Pokemon. We go hard Samurott, and Trick Room should efficiently be played around. We have this at max HP. We have the Archaludon at max HP as well, which is super nice, so that's going to be good. And I think we have just done enough here to pull off this victory here against Dell. The Mimikyu endgame, I'm thinking in my head, like, is there an opportunity I Bug Buzz to waste a turn here, and it made this end sequence a little bit easier? who's to say? I don't know. A little bit to think about on that one, but I mean, I'm always just going back out into this Pokemon. If he doesn't kill it, that's perfect because I can just Razor Shell. And he's just going to Drain Punch to cover this one off. Yeah, okay. And now, Trick Room is over. And I can kill with Hurricane here. So the dimensions are normal. We go back here. I think I have to Terra. Terra gives me the best chance to live given the set that he's shown. So what is he? Drain Punch. So D Punch. Slide. Yeah, this looks like, yeah, his best way to kill me is Earth. If I do this, he has no moves to kill me. So I just go for the Hurricane here. And I think we've done enough. I think we've done just enough to get this one here against Dell. I'm trying to think, like, I mean, if I double miss like that, that's a way to lose this game. Potentially. It depends on the calc. I mean, if I miss the first one... Oh, he's just going to withdraw. Okay, so I get a kill here. The Weezing or Gran. This is the Weezing. So we get the Terra off. Crabominable is still in the back. I'm thinking to myself, like, what do I do on the Gren when it comes in? I think I go hard Archaludon. I think it's the play every time. Alright, Hurricane hit. Goodbye, Weezing. I think that's the first kill for Torn this season. Should have had 3 last game, but that doesn't really matter too much now, does it? Given the speed, actually, like, if he goes Grand, do I just attack? The problem is like, if you like, what do I do if you spike? Oh, this could be... Oh, we're just gonna go back into this thing? Okay, well, I think do I change my plan now, actually? No, I think I just go for the Hurricane, right? Like, the Hurricane is still just the freest thing to do here. I missed, that's annoying. But I live the Earthquake. And the Ice Hammer. I live both of these. Do I think a Terra Blast here. What's my Archaludon calc? I'm trying to think, like, does it ever... What is a situation where I don't just Hurricane here? Does the Battle Bomb boost even matter? Does the Battle Bomb boost even matter? I think I do this because I think I attack like this. Because if I have to Drake, if he switches out, yeah, I don't know. This seems a little bit risky. I mean, yeah, this is kind of a soft play, but this should always be enough here with the Archaludon in the back. Maybe I should have gone for the Hurricane. I don't know. The problem is if he gets a Drain Punch there, he and I miss, he puts himself out of range of this Archaludon here. And this Archaludon should have more than enough to get through this game now in the end game. Especially where this is definitely min speed. So let's get a Flash Cannon off here, kill this Pokemon. Yeah, I was going to say, like, am I missing something here? But I don't think I am. Okay. And then Arch versus Greninja is a free matchup here. It has to be like CB, like Protean, I think, like to even matter here. I think it has to be CB Protean to even matter here. What do I click? I'm deciding whether I need to, whether I can Draco here. Oh, none of the other moves kill though. The Protean low kick is a problem here, actually. I'm just going to Draco, fuck it. If you're literally worst case scenario, like this covers worst case. Yeah, and he is that. Fuck, I did need to do that. Alright, come on. I did have to play around that by dropping a Draco, and I missed the Draco, man! Come on, dude. I mean, I had the Draco there, right? Like, there's nothing I could do otherwise. I think I live this. I have a chance to live this still here. Yeah, I do. You gotta hit this one, Archaludon, lock in. Archaludon, you gotta lock in, buddy. There we go. Oh my god. That was more stressful than it needed to be, man. Oh, they've this BBR season has certainly not been for the faint of heart. That is for sure. This season's not been easy. They made us work for it. I'm thinking a little bit about that end game, and I think the Torn Terra Blast, that's maybe a little passive. It's maybe a little bit passive. You know, it is what it is. You know, like it's one of those things where it's like I feel like I have to, like, it's one of those things where you don't get information about the set. I feel like I need to be playing around more things, and maybe that's like one of the things I find draft league players do. You play around things that just like aren't going to lose you the game. Luckily, I Draco'd twice. Obviously, Dragon Pulse twice would have worked there, but I don't know the calc, and it was pretty close anyway. So very, very thankful for that we lived on 6-1. So we're back to 1-1 in the BBR. We pulled that one out. Next week, we're playing against A12. He's got an interesting team, so get subscribed for that. But thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you next time. And as always, have a wonderful day.